Thank you, Mr. Chairman. There is broad bipartisan consensus against the Chinese Communist Party's unfair industrial policies, putting Americans, our economy, and the international order at risk. On this one issue, Republicans and Democrats strongly agree. A rising world order promoted by the People's Republic of China, North Korea, Russia, and Iran is dishonorable, dangerous, and deadly. It is worth taking a step back to get a full picture on the significant steps we have taken to address these challenges. When it comes to China's dishonest manufacturing and trading policies, the Biden-Harris administration has implemented monumental measures. Here's just a few. 1, President Biden increased the tariff rate on electric vehicles under Section 301 from 25% to 100%. He did the same for certain steel and aluminum products, raising their rates from 0% to 25%. 2, President Biden launched the historic Indo-Pacific Economic Framework for Prosperity with 13 regional partners like Australia and India to enhance long-term economic cooperation. 3, under Biden's leadership, we have brought $680 billion in private sector investment in advanced manufacturing and clean energy alone to the United States, and especially to places like my home state of Ohio. These are just 3 examples of hundreds of actions the Biden-Harris administration has taken to protect American workers, to strengthen our economy, and to combat unfair CCP practices. So, Mr. Paul, can you speak to the success of President Biden's efforts to create a new century of manufacturing in the United States? And specifically, how are the President's programs like Buy America supporting a diverse workforce and workers of color?
Thank you very much for the question, Representative Brown. I think it's undeniable that over the last 2 or 3 years that we've seen a factory construction boom in the United States. Whether you measure it in raw terms as a percentage of GDP or more recently as a percentage of business investment, we haven't seen factory construction like this for generations in the United States. So there is an impact. We have been adding manufacturing jobs, and the investments have been all over the country in many of these sectors. At the same time, we're seeking to reduce some vulnerabilities that we have, and I think that we're in progress on that. I'm glad you lifted up Buy America, because I think it's fair to say that there's never been more federal investment subject to Buy America requirements than there is today. And that's a testament to the work that the Congress has done and the administration implementing it right now. There's always room for improvement as we're on this journey, but I do think that in a lot of ways we're off to a good start.
Thank you very much. And we all know there is more to do to combat unfair CCP practices and the threats posed by CCP, Russia, Iran, and North Korea. These threats are intertwined, and Putin relies on China, North Korea, and Iran to arm its illegal war against Ukraine, which begs the question, what are they getting in return? Well, for one, the CCP is selling tens of millions of dollars worth of drones and drone components to Russia for use in its illegal war. So, Mr. Paul or Mr. Bragg, can you speak to the steps we in Congress need to take to address our adversaries' drone cooperation?
Well, look, I appreciate the question. I think the most obvious opportunity is to look at our own military's use of drones, look at the scale of our own military's use of drones, and look at our support for Ukraine in the form of drones. And I think there's a lot more to be done on every front. I think the best antidote is to support U.S. industry. This technology is inherently dual use. So if you invest in military drones, especially at the smaller, lighter, less expensive class, you're also boosting the supply of drones for other industries. And I think that's the thing that we have the most direct control over. It's very clear that in any near-peer modern conflict, our adversaries are going to be flying Chinese drones, and it's critical that we have U.S. technology to match that.
All right, well, thank you. Clearly, there are measures Congress needs to take to provide President Biden additional authorities to tackle CCP practices, which put us at an economic disadvantage and pose a security threat. We took the first significant and historic step by passing the CHIPS and Science Act in the 117th Congress, and there is more we can do on a bipartisan basis to strengthen, expand, and defend these wins. And my time has expired. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.